Howdy, 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 and welcome everyone to the New York Thunder eSeries here on Apex Racing TV. I'm Austin Knight. I am joined by Brad Clint with Dennis Branch up there in the production booth. We are here on round 1 of 4 here at ISM Phoenix Raceway. Round 1 of the Jettas. Brad, I am very excited for this series. How are you doing? And welcome.
Yeah, hi, thanks Austin. Hello to all the viewers. And yeah, it should be an interesting event, this one. These guys have picked the illustrious Volkswagen Jetta to throw around the bank turns here at Phoenix. And we've got the open dogleg, which always makes things interesting with a multitude of racing lines through there. So we'll see how these guys handle that. And I think the front right tire is going to be in for some torture on this Jetta.
Yeah, we got a 35 lap race for y'all today after 20 minutes of practice. But yeah, the Jetta, it's known for two things. One is you aren't allowed to actually set up the car. It has no setup parameters allowed in it. And the other is that diesel, which is the last time I'll be mentioning it. And the fact that it's not that clean.
So we've got the guys out in practice at the moment. There's about 7 minutes left, and we've already seen some interesting driving lines. They're trying to find the best way to find some lap time around here, and probably trying to figure out how they can look after those tires, because without an oval setup on the car, it's definitely going to be a challenge to see through 35 laps.
Yeah, these tires are just regular street tires, so looking after them is going to be very hard. But the times these guys are putting in are honestly, it looks like full throttle, as we're looking at Chad Garlis Jr. going all the way off into a different county. It looks like wanting to sample the infield bar, it looks like, and just to try to get as much time as he can. These cars are actually very forgiving on the open dogleg, unlike the Cup cars here. So looks like these guys are not even lifting off. But if you guys are new to the New York Thunder eSeries, don't worry, it's not always the Jettas. We do have other cars throughout the week. Tomorrow we'll be racing the Legends cars around here, and then we'll switch commentary teams to Peter McKay and Brian Delp as they cover the super late models and the tour modifieds to end out the week on May 30th and May 31st for the New York Thunder eSeries.
We're just riding on board with Mason Hannell here, and he is lifting there. Oh, it's actually changed back a gear heading into the turn, so it may not be flat all the way around.
I think it blew an engine.
Well, he's definitely blown an engine now.
Oh yeah, that'll make it blow an engine. And he's just sitting there. But yeah, these Jettas, very quiet, low revving machines. Very weird gearing, I must say. 1, 2, 3 are pretty much non-existent in this car. So I'm just expecting all these guys to be in about 5th, 6th gear. I'm more interested in how this race is going to start and see how close these guys can run together, because Phoenix is very unique track. It's very tight turn 1, and then you got that open dog leg, which has a million different reasons why it's a different line every other lap, and then you got that long last hand turn. They're all left-hand turns, so it's easy to know which way you're going. But it is the oval that drives like a road course.
We've got Mark Sergio.
Yeah, that's Mark. I was about to call him Dale. I was about to call him Dale Earnhardt, but no, that is a Jetta. But yeah, it's got the right paint scheme on there.
Yeah, got the classic Good Ranch scheme. I'm sure we'll see plenty of those on the new 87 Monte Carlo, which will be out in the new
Next
build.
week.
Very much looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's
that'll be out
plenty of
next
Oval
week,
fans
and
out there.
plenty of Oval fans be happy, and plenty of people who just like classic cars would be happy. Me.
So at the moment, best time is a 32.77, and that's Stephen Barber. William Krushka is just 200ths behind on the times there as well. So
Yeah,
pretty close.
everyone here is within 0.6 of the leader, so it's a very tightly packed field. So I'm interested on how this race is going to separate through the proceedings, but it looks like it's going to be a drag race for most of this race, a very tight battling. So we are definitely in for a show, and seeing on how tires are saved. Now, the Jet is not on the new tire model. It's on the old tire model, so you can beat these tires up, but they do have a bit of a fall off, and this car, if you tap somebody, you will get damaged, but it's not that impeding damage. It's kind of funny seeing these Jettas race around.
Yeah, you can see the guys just kind of testing how the draft is going to work. There's a couple of them just pairing up there to see if they can work together. A bit of damage there on the 33.
Man, I smacked the wall a bit. He's testing out the regular line compared to the dogleg line. The 84 that he's running with is the 84 Colin Johnston, and he's got a great run going through there. You're going to see the entire car like kind of shifting around, and oh no! Mason Hannell hard into the pit wall, and he's still spinning around. Yeah, but the Jetta, one of the least used cars on iRacing. One of the more underappreciated cars.
I haven't driven it for a little while myself. Have raced it a few times in the, I think it's the production car challenge.
Yep, that's the only series this car is, and I know that because I won my division in this car, so I'm very knowledgeable about this car and the small fields it has.
Stephen putting the Hot Wheels livery to good use at the moment, still holding the top spot on the timing board, and practice is just about to wrap up. And we'll head into a 5-minute quali.
Solo 2-lap qualifying session here at Phoenix as little smokes being put out on the track. Now, some of these guys, they might be doing this to rubber up the track because the track state does carry over from practice. So, you know, they might just be putting down a very nice line, or they're just having a good time before everything gets a bit more serious, which it is going to be right now because it's time to start qualifying for the New York Thunder eSeries.
Dustin Sorber looks like first out onto the track.
Yeah, solo qualifying session. So all of these guys have the entire track to their use. So let's ride on board with Dustin Sorber as he takes us around his 2 laps of Phoenix International Raceway.
Can hear the tyres protesting there. So they don't get much of a break here at Phoenix. It's along the backstretch here, and then the rest of the time they're being leaned on quite a bit.
Yeah, you can't really even hear the throttle of the car because it's just so quiet. You just hear a low roar. But it was a very clean first lap for Dustin Sober. But as he puts in a 3, repeating, of course, 3, and he's sitting in third right now. Mason Hanel did a 33.13 ahead of the 33.27 of Jason Hand. And almost kissing the wall right there. But a new fastest lap for Chad Garlis Jr. is taken away by Mason Hanel. And he gives us a great old show into turn 1. And a little bit of a tap to the front nose. Jason Hand stays in third place. No, he's actually stolen third place from Justice Sober. Colin Johnson in 5th place. He also put in a 33.333333333.
Just waiting to see what happens with Stephen Barber. He was quickest in practice. He hasn't quite set a time yet. I think he's about to.
Oh, Chad Garlish. He stole pole position. And here comes Stephen Barber. Let's see if the Hot Wheels man himself has some hot wheels on that hot Jetta. And does he have a hot time to take down Zach Skocznicki?
Oh, William Kruska's just jumped up to P1 with a 32.87.
Stephen Barber, 33.28. This is off the pace compared to what we see, and he's not going to finish his lap. Stephen Barber invalidated lap 1, it looked like, by tapping a wall. And I believe that's qualifying as Nick Galusha goes hard into turn 1.
Yeah, just a 2-lap running quali, and with the short 30-odd second lap, driver's not really needing all the 5 minutes there. So we'll be able to bring you the grid in a moment. I'm not sure if we're going to see safety car procedures like cautions in the race.
Well, it's an
if there could be
oval. I will
competition
believe there
cautions
would
or-
be. I believe there would be a caution on the oval. It's at night here. 66 degrees out there on track, 65 degrees in the air here in the beautiful night sky of Phoenix, Arizona on this May 15th of 2020. As we are just waiting for the clock to chime down. Everyone's gone across the line, so I don't know why we're waiting here. But 30 seconds until this session advances. Dennis, Brad, how are you looking forward to this race?
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how they approach the open dogleg, especially in the first couple of laps there, and to see how the draft works down the front stretch into turn 1. I think we'll probably see a lot of people trying to get a good run under that straight and then pull to the inside, try and make a move into turn 1. But it's pretty easy to slide up the track there, so I think we'll see a few fender benders in that turn.
Well, I'm expecting a lot of thunder tonight for the New York Thunder eSeries. Round 1 of 4. William Kruska takes pole. And joining him on the front row, it's Zach Skocznicki. He also known as ZAS Gaming out there up on YouTube. He's in our chat. Hello. He was actually apologizing. He's a 44 car, but there's a giant 9 on the side of it. That's what happens if you have custom numbers on. But they're starting to go. And there's already contact. Joining them is Chad Garlis Jr., Mason Hanel, Nick Galusha, Colin Johnson, Mark Serchico, Jason Hand, Stephen Barber, Dustin Sorber, and Christopher Apgar at the end of this 11-car Jetta grid. And, well, there's cautions and cars hitting each other already. It looked like an attempt to pass the safety car, but you can't do that right now. But the Ford Mustang safety car, the lights are out. It's pulling up. Ladies and gentlemen, the skies are storming tonight because we're going racing for the New York Thunder eSeries.
Very interesting pre-race start there, but they're all heading down into turn 1, and looks like Kruska's been able to make the jump, still a couple of car lengths away, but he's going for a very wide line at the dog leg. We'll see how this plays out with Hanel cutting right down to the inside.
Oh, no.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Caution out. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness, was that the entire... It feels like half the entire field, or maybe more, have just been involved in that wreck. Well, caution is out, and thunder has struck here at Phoenix as there's cars smoking, bent body panels everywhere. Just a lot of cars got loose going into the dogleg.
Let's take a look at that. See how this played out. Oh, there's it's the 97 went down to the inside and moved up the racetrack into one of the other cars there.
Yeah, Jason Hand went tumbling end over end. He had nowhere to go. And wow.
Hopefully these guys have got some fast repairs up their sleeve. There's quite a few cars in the pit lane at the moment. I think there's 6 cars in the lane.
Yeah, we got 6 cars in the lane right now. We're trying to fix our overlay right now. Hopefully we can get it reloaded and back up for y'all.
So the fallout of all that, we've got William Kruska in P1, Zach Kochnicki is P2, Mark Sergio in 3, Stephen Barber has come through to 4th, Dustin Sorba somehow picked his way through that and in P5, and then we've got cars filtering out of the lane. Nick Galusha is showing P6, Mason Hannell in 7, Christopher Apgar in 8, and looks like Chad Galisi has just come out as well in 9.
Did a car catch you up to the pit lane just crash? Am I the only one that heard that?
See if we can get a shot of that in a moment. I think it might have been Nick Galusha with that contact just a moment ago, but we'll see. So we've got William doing his best to camouflage his car as a Mustang right at the moment.
It's a bit too tall, and the rear end's a bit longer, and there it is. There's our beautiful timing tower. Well, after that massive lapped one, our order is William Krasuka, Zach Skocznicki, both 1 and 2, and that is just all chaos order that's proceeding right behind it as we're going back 2 wide to get back underway, hopefully more than 2 corners. But that was definitely a interesting start.
Yeah, it went a bit crazy earlier than we thought it would.
Well, I had one intro. I'll let you do this intro for them going green.
So The Mustang safety car is just about to peel off into the lane here as we head around the final turn, and let's see how we can go. Oh, there's contact already on the restart.
Green,
So
green, green.
Hanson's actually lost a spot there, and Kruska's got out to a sizable gap already.
And they dive into turn 1. Kruska, Mark, Zach, Dustin, Stephen, Mason, Colin, Chad, Christopher, your top 9 as they dive like dingoes in the outback across the dog leg.
Okay, so it looks like guys may have settled down after that first start, and we've got Sergio, who's looking down the inside, very nearly slid up into William there. It looks like he's going to be able to take the lead, although
William is just not having any of the open dogway. He's just driving the regular track, saying, "Y'all are going crazy. I just want to finish this race." But he is in the bottom of this 3-way race, and they're using not even all part of the track. They're just trying to stay as low as they can. This Jetta is very well balanced, and this battle for first place between Skocznicki, Kruska, and Kruska makes a wonderful move into turn 1, and he almost gets swiped by Mark Sergio.
So yeah, we saw Skocznicki. He took the really inside line through the dogleg and was able to overtake them both there a couple of laps back. And we can see behind there's a bit of a battle pack brewing for fourth. There's 4 or 5 cars very close to each other there in the rear shot too. So
Mason Hanel almost getting back into the Hot Wheels cars of Barber. And Barber losing a lot of speed through turns 1 right there. And something has happened to the 3. Well, I would say the 3, but it's actually the 11 of Mark Sergio. Well, it looked like he was going extremely slow, but I think that may have just been lag on my end.
yeah, it looks like he's fine. He's just tucked up there behind William. Oh, William dives down to the inside quite violently on the transition from the banking. These cars are reasonably soft in the suspension, so they're not upset too much on that transition compared to some other cars.
This car, if he had a curb, turns into a kangaroo and just starts bouncing all over the place. Especially at Lime Rock. But this battle up front between the top 3 is absolutely insane. See Zach going out all the way to the wall, almost kissing it, and diving all the way to the bottom wall is Mark. And now diving almost all the way into the pit lane is Zach Skocznicki, and they collide together, and around they go, and into the pit lane goes Zach Skocznicki. There is no caution, and thankfully he's going to get his fast appear right there, but unthankfully the green flag is still out, and the Sim Racers for Mental Health car is in the wall of turn 1.
Yeah, it's all changed very quickly there. Got Hanels come through to take the lead. We just saw William with a bit of a tap to the wall, probably carrying a bit of damage to the front right. Chad Garlisi has worked his way up into P3 after being involved in that opening incident.
The stealth carbon black car of Johnson, he's sneaking his way into 4th place, and he's got a great old run. Well, he's looking like he had a great old run on Garlisi ahead, but this 4-car pack now leading out this 10-car field as Nick Galusha is out of this race.
We can see Cullen Johnson makes that move down on the inside in the carbon privateer looking Jetta there, and He's still trying to hold the inside. Didn't quite get the move done.
He's got them. No, no, no,
Oh.
no, 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 no. They touch, but they avoid the wall. Well, he almost Kyle Bushed him there. Actually, no, he did Kyle Busch, but this time he was in front of him instead of behind him. It's not fully clear up high.
Hansen destroys the cone there, diving down to the inside.
Hashtag Cones Life Matters.
These guys are kind of paired off now. Kruska's trying to stick with him, and then we've got Johnson and Galisi very close behind as well.
Oh, a little bit of contact with the wall. That was Kruska sparking up the outside wall. As we see a little position swap between Johnson and Garlisi. But you can see Garlisi and Johnson, they're using a very inside line compared to Hanel and Kruska. They're just trying to catch back up to them as much as they can, and they certainly are, but they are abusing those tires.
Yeah, it looks like it's working. If they don't fight each other too much, they'll, you can see in the final turn there, they've closed right up. This will pretty much be a four-way fight again any moment now. You see there's 3 cars dive to the inside, and still got William running the higher, more traditional line around the outside.
Yeah, Williams just, I think he's going to start waiting and wait out the storm of these 3 drivers. And Stephen, it looks like Stephen Barber is having a bit of trouble. But I think that just might be connection issues as side by side they go through turns 1. And now Hanel and Kruska staying way out there. Oh no, and Johnson gets hard into Kruska, but wow, that is a stable recovery from both of them.
That was almost a dirt track slide job there from Johnson.
I don't even think Kruska felt it. I know the Jetta's kind of built like a rock, but dang, he took that hit like a champ.
Yeah, it's a bit like the TCR car in that regard. It's a little bit tank-like as well, even with the new damage engine.
Yeah, the only non-tank part of that car is the mirrors. And almost kissing the wall is Kruska. And you get to see the amount of scrapage he's had on that right side.
The Galisi and Hanel working side by side for a couple of laps here. And again we see Johnson duck down really early on the dog leg.
Ooh. Gotta have eyes all over it. All over yourself right now with the open dog leg. Guys will dive as far as they can down the inside, but they won't give you the room back. So you're gonna, those painted white lines mean nothing here. We're going 3 wide off the exit of turn 1. Steve Hanel going all the way down to the inside. No, Hanel's on the outside. Garlisi went onto the inside. Yeah, but Hanel is still in the lead, so it looks like the outside line is actually a bit faster than the far inside. But I believe Garlisi was held down there by Ganell, and they're going side by side, nose to tail again. Who's going to have the better exit? Hanel has a wider berth, and swinging down to the inside is Kruska.
Yeah, we haven't seen William down the inside there very much. Be interesting to see how this plays out because he was running the high line as we see Galisi right out near the wall. Just manages to hold it off there, but I think William was trying to look after his tyres earlier in the race, and now we're down to lap 23s, 12 laps to go. He might have decided it's go time to start using those tyres.
And sneaking his way down to the inside. looking for the lead. It is Chad Garlisi Jr. as well, he just appeared and merged onto the track like he's merging onto the highway right now, but this time he's merging into the lead. Garlisi, Henel, Krusta, Johnson, your top 4 as we enter lap 24 of 35.
Ooh, might have been a touch of bump drafting there into the final turn. Hanel, sorry, right on the back of Galisi. William again looking down to the inside, so he's starting to change up his lines from what we saw earlier in the race. And Chad's still just down the inside there at the front, and Johnson plenty of telltale signs on the side of that car that he's been in the wall.
Yeah, Kruska just smacked the wall again. He's using all the track right there. And now Johnson is pushing Kruska up the track. And Johnson, he's jumped into 3rd. He's looking it for 2nd place now. But surprise, Johnson, here's Kruska as we're side-by-side pack racing. The widest pack racing you've ever seen here at Phoenix. Gotta be honest, this is the first oval race I've seen where cars have headlights on them that actually work.
Yeah, I can't recall seeing it for myself. And like at least he's actually got a little bit of a break there. If he can hold on to it. Handel's looking around, trying to find a different line to make his way around him. Meanwhile, William and Cullen working their way back up onto his bumper. William just having a look down the inside.
And little bit of a slide job from Hanel. But Hanel's holding that line as Kruska come up there and almost gave him a bit of a slide job. These Jettas love racing close to each other. Tomorrow night, they will be racing with the Legends car. Then it's a 1-day break, and then they'll be back with the super late model and the Tour modifieds. So they're getting faster and faster each week, each night here on the New York Thunder eSeries. But I can tell you, this is the most out there combination, and I love it by the farthest. I'm a fan of weird.
Right, caution is out.
And caution is out with
So,
just a few laps to go.
yeah, lap 28, so we're going to see about a 5-lap sprint to the finish. Just looking at a replay.
Oh, Zach Scott Nicky thought he was Ken Block as he took a massive direct, and then the car just snapped over here. And he's just spun around right there, so he might be penalized for just bringing that out on his own. He is a lap down. Oh. Who's
Johnson
that
into the
this
wall.
was? That is absolutely peculiar. And now everyone's diving into the pit lane. But someone staying out is Mason Hanel. I think these guys are going for some fresh tires.
Yeah, that's not surprising, given the torture that they've been through.
Yeah, and that means the last few laps of this race are going to be a blast to watch, because tires, they decided the real life NASCAR race here, and oh no, too far forward of the pit stop. Chad Garlisi is going to lose his spot to the number 11, or to William Kruska ahead of him.
Yeah, that's another one of the cars in the rear shot did the same as well. I think that might have been Dustin Sauber.
I'm sorry for just a random lap. This is the slowest, most intense pit box battle I've ever seen. And first off the pit line, it is Chad Garlisi. He didn't put as much fuel as William Kruska is in there, as he is still filling up. He's been sitting in that pit box for 48 seconds right now. And I think they went a lap down.
That's a yeah, interesting turn of events there, because this car doesn't really use much fuel at all.
Yeah, just 1 gallon in that clean Jetta diesel asterisk at the end. Uses so little fuel. It's very efficient engine. And well, now your leader is Christopher Apgar with Mark Sergio rep high with Chad Garlisi and Mason Hanel, your top 4 drivers. As let's get up a gap to see who is still on the lead lap. Okay, looks like everyone is still on the lead lap. I thought Jason Hand was a lap down. Actually, Jason Hand might be a lap down. Nope, there it goes. Okay, Hand was just let by around, so he will be on the lead lap. As the lights on the pace car are out, we have 3 exciting, electrifying race laps left here for the New York Thunder eSeries. And it's going to be an absolute blast.
We'll see how it's all about to unfold. I think we've got Sergio bringing up the rear of the pack there, and he's had pace, so see if he can carve his way through the field.
Well, the new leader for the first time, our first new restarter, Christopher Apgar leads the field back to green, and we're going back racing here for the New York Thunder eSeries with just 3 laps to go. They're 3 wide through turn 1, and on the outside, getting a little bit loose, it is Chad Garlisi. William Kruska's in there as well. That cone gets absolutely murdered right there. It's not the first time. And they're almost going 4 wide on the exit of the dog leg.
Yeah, I can see Sergio's been able to make a couple moves there already. He's got himself up into P4. He's just trying to hold off Garlisi on the outside.
He's taking a look down the inside, but look at the run that Kruska has, but Kruska's almost going into the side of Apgar. And now look at the run that Sergio has in that Dale Earnhardt tributed number 3, the number 11 badge car, jumps into second. And now they're pack racing and banging doors on the side as Mason Hanel leads the field. White flag one last time, bright as lightning for the New York Thunder eSeries. They go.
Yeah, well, Mason's been able to pull a bit of a gap while these guys have been battling hard behind. It's going to be hard to see anyone get past him here, but we'll see how it unfolds. Oh, Kruska.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
with an aggressive transition.
Kruska turning up as he's going as fast. He's looking down the inside. He's looking for the power. He's going to get past Sergio right there. Sergio's giving a little bit of bump and run, and Kruska is going to finish in second place. But it is Mason Hanel taking the victory as these guys are crashing out at the end of this race. But all eyes on the number 33 of Mason Hanel. And I think he's going to give us a little bit of New York Thunder showmanship as the fireworks pop off in the background. He has been up there all day, and he's going to give us a little bit of a smoke show. If the Jetta does donuts.
He ended up pulling out about half a second gap there at the end, as the other guys were squabbling. So he did well at the restart, and Sergio not
Here we
quite
go.
able to come.
Front wheel drive. Well, it gave them all a little thunder strike right there, but the front wheel drive Jetta, you don't know it's a front wheel drive until you actually drive it. So I think he's just gonna park it against the wall or give us a little polished victory lap, or try to turn that Jetta into a modified. Now there's a smoke show.
So we had Mason Hannell with the win. William Kruska came across the line in P2. Mark Sergio in 3, followed by Chad Garlisi, Dustin Sorba, Christopher Apgar, Jason Han, Cullen Johnson, Zach Skonichi, Stephen Barber, and unfortunately Nick Galusha was out quite early in that event.
Tomorrow we have the Legends cars around this track. It's going to be much faster and a lot of smaller cars with new tire models. But let's talk about it with our drivers, as we got Mark with us here right now. He finished third on the podium. Howdy, 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 Mark. How are you doing?
Hey, can't complain.
Can't complain indeed. You finished on the podium, up 4 spots from where you started, and you were up there for most of the race. The end of the race looked kind of crazy. Walk us through that.
No, I was waiting for that caution to come out. It was fun racing. It just got into a late accident, but after that, I was just waiting for that caution. Once it came out, I was going pedal to the metal. Praise hell, praise Dale.
Indeed. Well, tomorrow we are racing in the Legends cars. We're going to be seeing you there.
Absolutely, it's been fun. First league race actually, so can't complain. See you guys there tomorrow. It's gonna be fun.
All right. Well, before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
My girlfriend for letting me get this race rig. It's been a long year and a half that we've been going through, but she let me get the race rig.
Well, glad you're having a great time, and congrats on the podium, and hope you have a good night.
Thank you. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Mark. Brad, who were you standing by with?
I'm not sure with the username, but
number 6.
Christopher.
Yep.
Yeah. How are you, Christopher?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Interesting race out there with a really fun car and track combination. And we saw some pretty close pack racing. How was it from your perspective?
It was good. First time I raced these cars. Didn't have any clue on what I was doing. I think I qualified last. But yeah, qualified last, finished 6th. Not too bad, I don't think.
And how'd you go with the front right tire? Was that quite an issue before the late caution?
Yeah. Car started breaking loose towards the end. Everybody else stayed out and got fresh tires, but I didn't think the tire wear was that bad until the last, I think, 4 or 5 laps, and then the car just broke loose and oversteered the car in the corner and gave up a lot of track.
Yeah, we're just watching a bit of replay action there. As fun little bit of contact over the line as well. So tomorrow we move on to the Legends cars. Have you done many laps in those before?
Oh yeah, I think I've spent my whole rookie class license time to get my promotion in the Legend cars.
Okay, so we should expect to see you at the pointy end tomorrow then.
Hopefully. I've never raced on this track. I'm probably going to go just practice with my setup in a little bit and see what kind of lap times I can throw down so I know what to expect, how it handles, and the tire wear we get on this track with the Legends.
No worries. We look forward to seeing you out there again tomorrow. Is there anyone you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to thank William for putting this on, and you guys for broadcasting it. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay, cheers all. Thanks for joining us in the booth, and yeah, we'll see how you go tomorrow. Good luck.
Thank you.
So
And
that
our
was Christopher Apgar, who finished in P6 this evening in the Jetta. And now I believe Austin has another one of the drivers.
Yes, I do. I have well his name on Discord is Free Dogs, but I believe he likes to go by his actual name. And why don't you introduce yourself for the lovely audience here today?
Yeah, I'm Chad Garlisi.
Yeah, Chad finished in fourth, number 97 car. You were up there in that scrap at the end of the race. Walk us through that decision to go into the pit lane.
Yeah, no, I knew I wasn't gonna have any tires. The way these cars drive, you kind of slide them through the turns, so I knew they were getting eaten up. So yeah, I was hoping fresh tires I'd be able to get back around them quick enough, but not enough laps to do that.
Yeah, well, it was a very tightly packed group. Is it the first time you ever drove a jet around the oval? How do you drive a jet around the oval?
Yeah, it was. It was really weird, like getting used to it in practice. It's like going through it's very forgiving. Like you can go anywhere on the track. You're like through turns 3 and 4, I was going way below the yellow line and still finding a lot of grip and speed to get back up on the track. And that's how I was getting a lot of runs out of the turns.
Well, it's a awkward car, awkward track. Tomorrow we are going into the Legends car. It's a little bit of a normal car, but not
Yeah.
a normal track for that car. What are your plans on setting up that car and plans for that race?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and save tires on it. A lot better than I did this race. It's gonna be weird. It's a really big track for it, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out.
All right. Well, we're very excited for tomorrow for you to unleash the lightning in the Thunder series. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Oh yeah, thanks William for putting this on. Thanks to my parents for buying me a steering wheel so I could play iRacing, and yeah.
Always got to thank mom and dad. All
Yeah.
right, man. You have yourself a great night, and I believe we are on our final interview with Brad and Zach Skotnitsky.
Yeah, hi Zach. Welcome to the Apex commentary booth. Not probably not the race you were hoping for there, with pretty heavy contact into the pit wall. I think it was your car during that one.
Yeah, I was hoping I could go for the win, but I dove a little too deep, hit the guy on my outside, and ended up in the pit wall. But not much I can do about it now. It was a great race, too.
Yeah, we weren't sure what to expect. Obviously, Jettas around the oval is not something that we've seen very much before, if at all. And how did you find it out there?
I've actually done this before. We, on the Race of Champions circuit, raced these at the Las Vegas Bull Ring, and we had some amazing pack racing and short track racing. These cars are awesome for ovals.
And with the tires, were you finding that it was hard to look after them? Did you have a strategy going in to try and use a certain line to look after them early in the race?
I had no strategy coming into this, I'll be honest. The tires, once I went into the pit for the last time, I apparently, they wear out way faster than I thought they would. I had like 80% wear on the 2 front tires because of the front wheel drive, obviously, but yeah, I had no strategy coming into this.
Well, tomorrow sees the series move on to the Legends car. What are your thoughts on that one?
I think the Legends cars will be fun to check around the circuit too. They'll be fast. I really hope they'll be fast. It's probably gonna be like a sprint car around a dirt oval.
yeah, I guess it just comes down to set up a little bit. But yeah, I'm expecting the Legends cars to be quite quick around here. A lot of high revving fun compared to the low end torque of the Jetta. So probably a different style of race tomorrow. We'll wish you luck in that one. Is there anyone that you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Not really. Thank you to my family, I guess. That's it.
No
Well,
worries, Zach.
actually, thank you to you guys for broadcasting this.
Uh, cheers. It's yeah, been a fun one for us to call, and we look forward to tomorrow and the remaining races later in the week. And good luck for tomorrow. We'll see you out there in the legend.
Thank you.
Cheers. So that was Zach Scott Nietzsche. Came home in P8 in the standings. Fortunately, got involved in a bit of contact towards the tail end of the race and hard contact into the pit entry wall.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate race for him, but there's always time to improve. It's a 4-round series, so you got the rest of the series left to go. Legends cars up tomorrow night here, same track, same time for the New York Thunder eSeries live on Apex Racing TV. Production has been brought to you by Dennis Branch. I've been joined by Brad Clank, and I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.